experience of homelessness was my dad. My dad was homeless for a certain period of time, and I've had family members, friends, certain family members and friends I've let stay with me when they've been homeless. I'm in a period in my time where I'm just trying to help give back and do that first and foremost for the community that I'm kind of within, and branch it out.
You heard what the man said, so we're going to take this 12-hour journey, get a little taste of what it's really like to be out here on the streets. For those that are living it, and let's hope it can change our mind states. Take the journey with us. We're going to follow you the whole night. We're doing this together, 12-hour shift out here in the cold. But like you say, this ain't the full shabam. Let's not get it twisted. There's security, it's gated. They're offering you a nice big breakfast in the morning when it's all over. You got your sleeping bag and whatever else. But let's get down to the real ones, the ones that really are out here. Sleeping rough. Might hit a park bench and not be able to get through the night because someone's brushing them away. Really cold, got no clothes, the weather's changing. What do you really feel about the blessings that in this life, let's be real, we're renting everything. Nothing's really ours, tomorrow could change. What do you think when you think about that?
You finish work and you go home to your nice warm bed and you snuggle up. You have dinner, snuggle up in bed, wake up in the morning. Doesn't it ever occur to you what it must be like if you didn't have a home?
Southwark Cathedral, you get me, the Sleepout. What made you want to do this?
You know what? This year especially, like, I'm seeing more and more homeless people and more people that are homeless that are very, very young as well. Especially I work in Brixton, so I'm there every day, you know what I mean, in my kind of local area. And it's something that I've donated to for like the last 5 years. And I always keep saying, yeah, I'm gonna do it next year, gonna do it next year. And yeah, just finally it's just been a year where I've just been putting my money where my mouth is and just doing things I actually want to do.
The face, we all know the name, very well known. We're here down here doing, what we now, we're about 3:30 in the morning.
It's about that sort of time. It's beautiful to be in here, isn't it? Just come in for a cheeky glass of water, woken up looking up at the Shard in heavenly cold, and yeah, it's been fascinating and lovely, and sort of not being fascinating is just the word I thought of because it's 3:30 in the morning. Actually, what it's made me really reflect on and think about is gratitude, right?
Yeah.
I'm on a park bench, so I just think how much I'm going to have the gift of appreciating what it is to have a home and a bed.
It was on to about 7.
Yes.
What's it like through the night as someone who's done it before for us newcomers?
Well, I have always found every year something new crosses my mind when I sleep out. For one, it's very noisy, as you can hear. The train will go until about midnight. The light. It's coming up to Christmas, people coming back from late night parties, etc., etc. And of course we're doing it in security.
Yeah.
We know how long it lasts for. And all that kind of stuff, you know, so yeah.
So just there, what you said leads me on to my next question. What do you think it's really like for the ones that, like you say, there's no gated security, there's no one watching out for them? Every night of the year, all through the year, they're in the cold or the rain, or if they're lucky, a bit of summer. What is it like for them, you think?
Well, for one thing that always comes to mind, I must imagine how stressful it must be.
Yeah.
Because even if you say you found this spot and it wasn't the Sleepout, you're not sure if halfway through the night, early in the morning, someone's going to come and ask you to move.
Yeah.
You are by yourself, you're sleeping, you're really vulnerable. You want to go to the toilet, you've got no dignity.
I went to India for a little bit and we were building toilets and doing some charity work. When I got back, I started thinking, how could I do more? Or what could I do more? And yeah, a friend of mine was talking about that, just sort of maybe doing some stuff with the homeless, but we were going to do it unorganized and just sort of sleep out randomly.
Yeah.
And then he told me about the Rose Projects and what they do, and then we just did it that 1 year. This is like 2012, sorry. And yeah, like at this point, because I've done it, it's like my 12th year doing it.
What made you want to participate in this?
Well, I wanted to let my 14-year-old know what it's like to be a homeless person and think about the circumstances of what they go through.
Is facing that adversity and that chaos.
Yeah.
Living on the street, living with all the noise. That's one part of it.
Yeah.
And you know, like we mentioned earlier that we're kind of safe because we're locked in and there's rails all around us, no one can get in. But actually to be living that with not knowing what's going to be the next second, I think there should be banned. We shouldn't have a society where that
it's happening. Yeah.
Because it's literally live or die out there.
Yeah, mad, yeah.
And to think it's 2024 and we're living in, I mean, one of the most, you know, it's a most sophisticated European cities.
Yeah.
There should be more control over this.
Would you say to anybody out there who doesn't understand that there is another world out there, you might be blessed to be having your morning cup of tea, getting in your snug bed at night, what would you say to anyone?
Yeah, I'd say to anyone, you're already kind, you're already good, you already have the limitless power within you to remember those who aren't as privileged as you, even if you don't feel you're terribly privileged or terribly lucky. So there's one word, which is just look around you. It's so easy in our daily lives, especially in cities or bigger towns, to walk past people and think that what's happening when there's a fellow member of humankind sleeping in a doorway, that doesn't affect them. It's not something that's part of their interest, their zone of concern, but actually it really is. That's a fellow human being there. And even if you just for a second remember that person has a story and a family, and that you can play a part in a role, we can play a role rather in that person's life just by being kind, that is an enormously powerful way to change the emotional conversation of your day at, well, worst and at best, potentially somebody's life.
You heard what the man said. Listen to the words and try and be a better tomorrow. Anybody out there that could be in your boots and be in here, see what it's like, but they're not. They don't see that they got a blessing in life. They have got somewhere to live, they got warm water, they got heating. What would you say to anyone like that?
Well, first of all, I would say try and envision, because sometimes it's hard to empathize through words. So try and visualize what that means, or try to think about from the morning until the night what your day would be, and you start there. If you take away all the little things, let's say like when you're leaving the house, yeah, to go out somewhere, and you take the most essential things with you.
Yeah.
Now imagine your key just magically disappears.
Yeah.
You've got nowhere to come back, and now that's all you've got on you. Maybe, you know, maybe you've got some food, maybe you got some gloves, some scarf, and that's it. So just try to picture that next time you go out for a walk. Where would you go? What would you do? Where are you going to sleep that night? Who are you going to call? You know, these are the things that I want people to be constantly thinking about, because that is what's the next practical step in taking action. Maybe, you know, pushing your MPs, writing letters to the correct people to push the government to do more. Every consecutive government needs to do more.
Literally, it's got a coat. I'm going to use this as a pillar.
Yeah.
That's it in the corner. And then sleeping bag here. Essential. It's got one book.
Yeah, give us the insight. What's that about?
Science of black men and female sex. It's not all about sex, but
that's a nasty book for the night, mate.
Yeah, need it. And then Egyptian.
Yeah. So what are they gonna get from that? Tell them what's that about.
You know what? I've even started it.
Yeah, but you know it's through Egyptian system. Yeah, to show us something from back.
That's about it in there. And then I've got headphones.
What music you got playing on them?
I've got Spotify, so I'm gonna just see how long the battery lasts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So what are you saying? You think that's enough to get you through the night?
Fingers crossed, man. Hopefully. You know what I mean? It's a period of time, and this is the thing. It's like the blessing is that it's a period of time, and then after this, you get to go back to
reality.
That's the reality that a lot of people don't have. So we'll see how it goes, man.
I was keen to bring my family here, especially my 14-year-old, and teach her about, or at least get her thinking about homelessness and how hard it is, especially to sleep outside when there's a lot of noise going on.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of broken sleep, and you know, for some people that's a type of torture, isn't it? It's really hard for them to really stay grounded when they've got broken sleep. Sleep is so important.
The very first sleep out we had, which we're not quite sure, we think it was about 15 years ago, wasn't it, Jill? And I'd come to sleep out, and I got out and I was cold, and I came in and nobody was doing teas and coffees. So I started then, and we've been doing it ever since.
What made you get out there and do this?
Well, certainly to raise awareness, first of all, and I think there's only so much words can do as an impact. I think sometimes you gotta take action. And I feel like it kind of motivates your surroundings, you know? If you just talk about something, sometimes the mind, it can trick it into thinking that it's already accomplished. But if you say, no, actually, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do it. I'm going to be put myself in the shoes of these people, and I want you to support me, to support this cause. And you know what? It worked. We got a lot of donations. We got heaps of donations. I'm really happy about that.
So your people came through, yeah?
People came through, and you know, there's going to be people that are going to be housed until Christmas and after that.
Made you say, you know what, I'm going to get out there?
Well, it was Odette
Okay.
talking to us because I'm newly ordained.
Yeah.
And we were over at Trinity House and she came and sort of banged the drum for it.
Yeah.
And we just, well, I just, you know, thought that would be a good thing to do. But my husband did some work in Croydon with Night Watch. And my daughter is involved in a couple of programs in Brighton. So I just felt like I needed to do my bit.
I'm going to put something on you. A little bird told me that obviously you came down here because they wanted you to do a nice little interview.
Okay.
And the word was they was going to let you go after that, but you was like, no, I'm staying the night. I want to be out there.
I mean, I'm happy to be the centre of that heroic narrative that you just wrote. But actually, no, it was, I met Mark, who runs the place here, and ages ago, not ages ago, a while ago, and I heard what Robes did. I said, right, I'm in, I've got to do this.
Yeah.
You know, if you can get a tiny grain of sand of empathy in life, wherever you can find it.
Yeah.
You can try insofar as you possibly can, which is never fully possible, just to walk in baby steps in somebody else's shoes. I thought, well, here's a chance. So
Yeah.
I thought that would be a gift.
And when you did say that you thought, I want to do it, what was your main reason for saying, you know what, I want some of that, I want to see what it's like?
Well, I wanted to see what it was like. I wanted to feel a tiny bit what it was like. I had the real privilege of working alongside Shelter over the years and had quite a few clients who were unhoused, certainly when I first started at the bar. And you know, the thing I guess I take for granted most in my life and love the most, apart from family and friends, but those are all connected, is my home.
Yeah.
And to have spent time along so many people who are unhoused, to understand not just how complex it is, but every person who finds themselves in that situation has a story, has a narrative, has a life, has hope, has possibility, has a future, and the difference between those things is a home. And to know that they're outside and cold, it means that when I have a connection or an encounter with somebody who doesn't have a home, I might just have a tiny iota of essential understanding when they say it's cold, what they mean by that.
Yeah.
And I always think that's helpful when you're having an authentic conversation to connect with someone.
Yeah. What inside you says, you know what, I'm going to be there next year?
Well, again, I just think like from last year when I did it, how many different blessings, how many different things I've taken for granted and I've had, and that there's nothing extra special for me.
Yeah.
And I just think I've been given this. It's a little I can give back.
And just lastly, like, how did donations go? Did you get some good donations this year?
Good donations. I'm not up to my target yet. I'm trying to raise £1,500 and above.
Yeah.
And I was still probably about £500 short of that. So any donations, anyone watching this and it touches your heart, there's no small donation. Big donations will go even a bigger way. But firstly, it's you giving of your heart.
What are you saying? It's about 12 o'clock. How's it going so far?
It's not too bad, and I'll be honest. Grateful for the weather because it's not that cold. I think it's more the position. I didn't bring a pillow or anything. It's not the most comfortable positions, but I didn't really expect it to be, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far, so good, man. It's only 12 o'clock. Just 7 hours to go, man.
You're saying you got a nice blessing, you got a hot drink in your hand, you're nice.
Hot drink. And I got this little poncho thing, so yeah, this should see me through, man.
Alright, let's keep the journey going. Let's be real, a lot of us do not know the blessings we've got, because like you said, out there it's cold and there's a lot of noise. Yeah. And some people are doing that every night regardless. Yeah. What would you say to any of us that are not looking at our blessings?
Well, it is really important to be grateful. It raises our energy level to be grateful, right? It puts us in a different frame of mind, a different mood, and it makes us more generous and more loving towards people when we do understand the blessings that we have. It's an important, I would say, spiritual practice to really focus on being grateful every day. Some people write it down. They've got like a gratitude journal. Even if you don't have one of those formal books, just grab any piece of paper or your phone and just talk into your phone every day at the end of the night or in the morning and just say what you're grateful for every day. It's such an important practice to do.
Look what the lady said, and make sure you hear them words because that's very true. So we're coming on to 3 o'clock now, miss. Let's get the night done.
You never really think about what it's like to be out on the streets with nowhere to go.
Yeah.
You never had to. So that first night, I remember it was freezing. It was like proper cold. Grass was like going icy. And I'm just reflecting on it most of the time. It's about the things you take for granted. Your warm bed, your family, your friend that put you up. Everything. Like you just take so many things for granted. Like the free sandwich you might get from a friend. So many things that go into looking after you. So I just reflect on my own privilege.
What are you saying, big man? The night's done. 6:30 in the morning, you've done it. You hit the old nail on the head. How you feel after that night?
Definitely gratitude, man, and appreciation. Because, yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought, but yeah, I can imagine doing it for longer. I definitely appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep it short and sweet because
Can't let people live on the streets, because if you look at the people that because I'm on one of the teams as well, if you look at the people who come in, a lot of them are working.
Yeah.
So they're working all day.
Yeah.
And then they've got nowhere to sleep at night. It's absolutely horrendous.
Yeah.
And you can't just walk by and let things like that happen.
So what are you saying? You're back next year, yeah?
yeah, man.
Come on, let's do another 12 next year. Let's hope we see them there.